What's up, guys? It's Sean and welcome back to the iherng podcast. And today we will answer a question from email. This is from 874. Yeah. Hi, Sean. Thank you so much for reading my email. I am from Sarawak and currently working in KL. Just came here last year in Q4. This is my first job and I have been watching your videos since I was in my degree. I was looking for some properties to invest in Sarawak, but no way, it's way too expensive and the rental demand is not there yet. So I decided to invest in KL property instead since I am here. Well, and why not? Now I have already signed SPA for the first condo in KL for investment purposes. The property is a studio unit located not far from KL Centre and it costs around 200,000 plus. I got my loan approved for 100% loan and the interest was about 4.25%. I am not sure if I am doing this right or not because during the time when I was signing, I was kind of YOLO and generally felt like it would be a good investment in terms of ROI for that particular property with such low installment price and possible to generate positive cash flow. However, I am not sure whether the interest rate is fair or not since I have only been working for 3 months at that time and I have not built a good credit score upon that. But I am trying to raise for the timing rather than the interest rate because of the mindset. The property is quite cheap, the interest won't matter much. Please share some thoughts on the interest rates. I am thinking of having this first condo as my first investment and to improve my DSR, if positive cash flow is possible, to get the second house and the following. Am I doing it right? Is it a waste to get such a cheap project investment or should I aim for a higher property to fully make use of the advantage as a first-time home buyer? Thank you so much for your time reading this. Regards, 874. So 874, thank you so much for writing in. I suspect this is that brand new project along Jalan Ampang, the very small size one where it's cheap, right? So it's a new property. I assume, I may be wrong. I certainly hope I'm wrong because this is the weird part. So for those who are not sure of what I'm talking about, I have just made an episode for this young man also looking at this cheap property within KL City Centre, and that's the trend of development products right now. They will have a product that is 450 square feet that's around 250,000. So the first thing that they will market is less than 250,000 next to KLCC, high ROI, Airbnb positive. These are the keywords that they will make you think, oh, but you actually forget to do all the basic homeworks, which includes the 4 basic steps of what I always talk about. The intent, your loan eligibility, the 20 different properties research around that particular project, then only make that informed decision. But everyone just skips that because it's cheap, that's all. The only main reason why people buy is because it's cheap. Whether is it cheaper than the entire median, they are not sure because once you start dividing the property price by the size of the property, right, suddenly it's not that cheap anymore. But everyone is just blind by this YOLO kind of thing because everyone is just too concerned about not being able to afford a new property when they age. And this is a confidence thing in my opinion. Like a lot of people are just way too concerned. To you, 874, is it too early? Yes, definitely. You came from Sarawak and straight away you buy one property because you kiasu, because you YOLO, because you FOMO, whatever you want to call it, right? You barely worked 3 months. Like your entire understanding of the reality that you are in is still like so little only. So I don't think that is a wise move. Like I always advise younger people, right? The things that you need to have before even considering getting a property will be the following. Number 1, 6 months of emergency fund. So 6 months of emergency fund here means that you can go jobless for the next 6 months and you can still remain the lifestyle that you want. Then the second thing will be protection in terms of insurance, especially medical card. Because let's say if you were to touch wood, get into an accident, right? Do you think you can afford the medical bills? Like per night is 200, then let's say for a week, then plus this, plus that, right? Medical bills are just insane. Then the third thing, are you in a state where you are certain about giving up a lot of your securities and peace of mind to investment? Because once you start investing, right, like not everyone is comfortable with risk. Some people, once they get a lot of loan from the banks, right, they cannot sleep at night. Then is your career stable enough where you pretty much know that you're going to get promoted, your income is steady, you will not get fired? Then are you in a big corporation? I think you are, because they approve your loan in 3 months' time. So it's a big corporation. But what if there's an opportunity among your friends saying that, hey, you want to join me in this new venture? Then you will lose out in all those kind of things. Are you ready for that? If all those are checked, then it's perfectly fine. So personally, I think it's a very harsh decision, but whether is it right or wrong until the project is completed and you actually rent it out to build your cash flow, then it's right. But do I think it's too fast? Yes, because have you actually checked 20 different properties around that location? Now, I think you are only focused on what you can afford, not what is the best ROI, which is the next point that you made. Is it too soon to just use your first property privileges on such property, or would you wait for something else when you can afford more to get a better property? So this is something that I also thought about when I'm back in this investment journey. So I've just got another brand new unit. I will disclose it here right after I sign the SPAs and all the loan goes through. In order to decide which property suits you, right, it depends on your income, number one. Of course, right? The second thing, your loan eligibility. Do you still have a 90% slot, or is already your 70% slot? Then the third thing is, do you have access to special deals or not? So these are the main three differences I realize whenever I speak to my peers about property investment. Yes, some they have a lot of money, but they don't have any more 90% slots. They don't know how to restructure their portfolio to get another 90%, and they do not have access to deals. Like when you walk into any sales gallery today, like when I experienced this myself, I went through all the sales galleries to know that a lot of prime units are taken up in private exclusive previews, which means like there's a new project in Kuchai Lama. I think a lot of people know what project it is. Before it was launched, 2 weeks it was already open to insiders, it's already open to friends and relatives, and all premium units were taken up immediately. So when the sales gallery is just up, then when you walk in, you know that you're being early already. It's like barely a month after they announce. The leftover units are those huge ones facing weird corners. They are not as attractive anymore. So you then start to make compromise. Then the other way is to wait for boomy release units. But some developers do not even play that game anymore. They straight away just pay the penalty for all the boomy release and allow bookings from customers to be paid on them. Again, this somewhat explains the access part of things, where you really got to know people, you really got to know the industry. But you just join the industry, and if your parents are not within this realm of investment, it's a very, very tough game. So if my credibility can go up to 1 million, and if I got 90%, the decision then between a new project and a sub-sale project will be different. Do I have capital, or do I want to spend capital on it where it can generate cash flow immediately? Then I will book something else where it gets completed 3 years down the road. A lot of people would think that, once I book this property, I book 4 units, which is an exact story of one of the NFT members that I have. He should already book 4 units of this brand new project. And to think about it, is it a wise move? Yes, because he got at a very special price. The completion date is 60 months from now. So for the next 5 years, you cannot do anything else because it's already just locked in. If upfront capital is a problem, then I think it's a wise move, right? But if upfront capital is not a problem, I do think that going for sub-sale properties where you can generate cash flow immediately within this weak market or poor economic condition, as they call it, a better move instead. Well, that's a mouthful of information right there. In your case, right, let's put things into context. If I am fresh into the workspace today again, like I'm 23 again, I just graduated, and I got a job and I worked 6 months already, I relocated here. So what would I do first? I will build the 6-month emergency fund as soon as possible. Then I'll get protection, which is the insurance. Then I will invest in myself first. So invest in myself, there's a few things here. It includes knowledge, where I get access to podcasts, I get access to courses, specific knowledge within the career, so I get to climb up the corporate ladder faster. I will invest in people that is smarter than me, so I know that this manager likes whatever wine or whatever chocolate, right? So I'll arrange time with him more often to learn more. That will just shorten shorten my learning period to go up faster. I'll do that until my salary reaches a level of 5,000. Then only I'll start looking into property investment, which kind of means 3 to 4 years after working. Some may call it too long, some may call it too conservative, but this is my game. So what I will do first is I will, like you say, maximize my first property purchase experience, where you can get certain incentives. I can't even keep track of what's the latest right now. Instead of a new property, I will go for a sub-sale first. And why the lengthy working experience also I will explain to you. So I'll get a first sub-sale, so I will save up the first 10% and to go for a property within 300 to 500,000 that is existing. So there's a few property within Bukit Jalil, Subang Jaya, PJ that is around this range, and they can generate very healthy rentals. And healthy here means they can perfectly cover the installment. Once I get a project, I will make over it, then I will rent it out. If I do my cards right, I'll get a positive cash flow and wait for 6 months time before this rental income can be declared as an income in the eye of the bank. By doing this, I improve my DSR already. So instead of being poorer buying a home, I actually became richer in the eye of the bank after acquiring this investment unit. Actually, it's the same thing. Just that one you stay yourself, one you rent it out. Then I got not enough capital anymore for my second one. I can either choose to get a property directly from a developer, which is a new project, so it requires less capital. As I have one running already, then I will just wait for the second one to be completed within 3 to 4 years time. In this moment of waiting, then I will focus on my career again to increase my active income so I can qualify for my third one. But if you have found the project that can make you very healthy rental returns, right, and you just like not enough capital, what you can do is you can get your SPA, go to your EPF counters and withdraw whatever you have within account 2 or 10% of the SPA price. So if you have bought a 400,000 apartment, you can actually withdraw 40,000 out, and that can be your down payment for your next one already, or it can be your renovation fund. Then can you still acquire more? Yes, provided you have the sufficient income. So that is also a very big thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about. In order to build a multi-property portfolio that consists like maybe 10 properties, right, the main income part is actually very, very important. Yes, you can actually declare all the rentals from all the properties, right? But when you buy new properties, then it gets stuck one. And this is the patience part that I wish you guys can understand. Property is a very, very slow game, but we can play very long. So if you get your first one at 24 or 25, you play out for 3 to 4 years, go live life a little bit, save up for the second one, or you can straight away go for 2, like what I did in this example. You can straight away go for a sub-sale, 6 months time, get the keys, refurbish it, rent it out for the 6 months, then the rental can be recognized as your income, then you go for the second one in a new project already. So immediately you got 2 already, you utilize your 90% straight away. Then the tough point here is the 70%. What do you go about it? First, what I did is I joined bulk purchase groups like Far Capital. So the link is down below. You guys want to join, you join. Why is it important? Because if you go to an open market, it's very hard to get products with such heavy discounts. The only way is to buy them in bulk. So there's incentives for the developers, or they are just desperate developers. Then even if it's 20% discount, I only need to cover out the 10%. So how do you get the 10%? It's another topic altogether where you can raise capital by joining with your friends, your family members, with your spouse, whatsoever. And that's pretty much the game until the 4th, the 5th. Then if you want to go back to 90% again, there will be this restructuring of loan into a separate financing institution altogether that is not recognized by secrets. So if you look into secrets, there won't be any properties. You are as fresh as new. Then you repeat the same thing again. Well, the other way is to just be very, very rich, right? Where 70% loan margin or 85% loan margin is not a problem. This is when you are ready to move into commercial properties, industrial properties. Capital is not really a problem. The patience to go through the research and the time to sit down to look through all the deals, those will be bigger problems than the capital itself. So at that stage, you kind of made it already. It will be a very fun thing. How I wish I could get there sooner. Hopefully after these 2 more deals, then let's start playing that game. But anyway, that's exactly how I would play this game again. So whether your interest rate is high or low, don't worry too much, because the amount of loan that you just get, right, is pretty low, 200 over 1,000, right? And the lower your loan amount, the higher the interest rate actually. And this is something to also point out. If the bank do not favor you as much as a risk profile, it will be reflected within the interest rate portion. The more they like you, the lower interest rate they will give you. And since we're talking about this, right, part of the thing is also to have a credit card within the habits before buying a property. And I couldn't stress this enough. It's actually very difficult to get a loan as a fresh grad. Absolutely nothing. You have no spending records, no banking account whatsoever. It's a very difficult thing. So if you just come out and work, right, do get a credit card and just use it for necessary things only, like petrol. And it's not part of your emergency fund. Let's say you get a ×3 credit limit of your gaji, right? So let's say your gaji 3,000, you get 9,000. Oh, that's part of my reserve fund. No, that is not how this game is played. Because everyone thinks like that. Then when they go travel, oh, I actually have a lot more money in the bank. I have 9,000 plus my saving 1,000. Hey, I actually got 10,000 to spend. Please do not think like that. Well, 874, thank you so much for writing in. And I guess you signed the papers already, so I guess it's too late. And I certainly hope it's a sub sale instead of a new property. Hopefully others who have just started their job, and this would somewhat be their reference on the way to play the game. And this is a thing that I kind of developed after speaking to a lot of first-time home buyers. This would be the best way to do it because it actually saves time. It actually allows you to take money out of EPF. It allows you to play within certainty first, then go for more uncertainties. So thank you very much again, 874, for writing in. And for those who still have any questions regarding real estate, do just email me at taniherng@gmail.com, or you can just DM me on Instagram, iherng, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao.